We're a generation of recluses, we are. We do all of our shopping on Amazon, we can order our food on tablets, and when we want to play multiplayer games, we don't need to invite friends over anymore. We just hop online and play with randos without a microphone plugged in. Remember the good old days of sitting next to a friend on the couch and working through a tough stage or trying to finish a game in a single sitting? Remember the screams, the prodding elbows, and the sides of your mouth aching from smiling and laughing so much? Those days can be yours once again. Couch Co-op is alive and well in 2016, so let's party like it's 1999. Call up a friend, get them to ask their mom if they can come over, order a pizza on the phone, and then sit down with one of these games. Affordable Space Adventures is one of the best games you're not playing on your Wii U. It's one of the best multiplayer games this generation, period. You play as a naive tourist who's been duped by a phony travel company into renting an affordable spacecraft to explore hostile worlds. When I say affordable, I mean held together with duct tape and prayers. The ship has all kinds of mechanisms, alternate engines, devices, and landing gear that will all need operating, and that's where your pals come in. You can play with up to 3 friends, all of whom will have distinct roles that feel engaging and important. This is the game to load up when you have non-gamers at the party, and I guarantee that all of you will end up either laughing hysterically or frantically reaching over to push buttons on each other's controllers as your hunk of junk spacecraft sputters towards certain peril. Diablo 2 will likely go down as the best multiplayer dungeon crawler of all time. That's why Diablo 3's initial launch was such a disappointment. Server issues, a lack of compelling gear, and a real money auction house almost ruined everything. Luckily, Blizzard listened to fans, and many patches and an expansion later, Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls has evolved into a worthy successor. Everything has been so finely balanced that no matter which class you and your friends might choose, there are always multiple ways you can complement each other. The new loot system also means that you'll be constantly on the lookout for meaningful, significant gear upgrades. I can think of no better way to spend a Friday night than seated next to your buddy, controllers charged, determined to make it through all 6 acts on the hardest difficulty, constantly comparing and trading loot throughout the journey. Actually, I think I know what I'm doing this weekend. This might be the best game on the list to play with the non-gamer in your life. Maybe your roommate thinks video games are stupid, but they love Doctor Who. There's a LEGO Dimensions pack for that. Just build it together and then relive some of the greatest classic and contemporary Doctor Who moments together. Your girlfriend or boyfriend might not have an interest in video games, but they may have an interest in the Jurassic World Team Pack if you saw the movie together. Make a date night out of putting the set together and trying it out in-game for an hour or two. This might be the easiest game to justify new purchases for if you can get your significant other hooked. You just have to find the right pack. Overcooked is perhaps the most unique game on our list because it's only properly experienced as a local co-op game. You can't play Overcooked online, and you can try to work through it alone, but even then you'll have to switch between multiple chefs to get your work done. It's much better to surround yourself with friends who you can scream at when your kitchen starts falling apart. There are veggies to chop, steaks to cook, meals to plate, and dishes to wash. Just like a real kitchen, there are always too many things to do at one time, and it takes a village to make it through the night. This is local co-op bliss, and one of the most unique games of 2016. TrackMania Turbo is probably the closest thing to a classic arcade racing experience you're going to find on next-gen consoles and PCs. Everything about this game, even in single-player modes, is about besting the rest and coming out on top with the fastest lap time. Most races aren't races at all, but rather runs of a single challenging lap that you attempt over and over again, shaving off milliseconds and trying to come up with an unbeatable record. It's the perfect game for passing the controller around because no one will likely hold on to it for longer than 30 seconds. There are also some killer multiplayer options like the innovative Double Driver mode. In Double Driver, 2 players use 2 controllers to control a single car. The game accepts all gas, brake, and steering inputs from both players and directs the car accordingly, so even the simple stages will have you and your buddies shouting at each other over gasps of laughter as you attempt to work together to reach the goal. Do not miss this one, it is so much fun. Super Mario 3D World is hilarious to play in a group because anybody can change from worthy teammate to ruthless saboteur in the blink of an eye. You're all sharing a single screen and working together to reach the same goal, but inevitably, after one or two stages, rivalries develop for one reason or another. Whatever the reason, things can spiral out of control very quickly as you all begin to pick each other up and throw each other off of the edge of the map, trigger falling platforms before teammates can reach them, block entries to pipes, or wreak havoc generally. On the other hand, this is one of the best 4-player co-op games of the generation if everybody decides to play nicely. Either way, you'll have a blast. I'm happy to give the #1 spot to this breakout indie smash hit. 6 cars, 2 teams, 2 goals, and 1 ball. Rocket League is a game that you just can't understand until you play it for yourself. The controls are so simple, but after months of playing, you still feel like you're getting a better feel for angles, hitboxes, sliding, and boosting. Give this to a friend though, and even if they don't usually play video games, they'll know exactly what to do. Hell, take them online with you and tell them to ram other teams' cars or just get in the way. They can still contribute that way. Rocket League is the most fun you'll have sitting next to a pal this generation, and Psyonix is constantly adding new content and game modes to keep things fresh. If you haven't played this game yet, invite a friend over this weekend and give it a whirl. That's going to do it for today, everybody. I hope we inspired you to call up an old buddy and get him to come over and hang out and play some great games together. If you had fun watching the video, then give it a like or a share, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more great content. If you like what we do, you can check us out at cheatcc.com for all the latest reviews, news, and exploits, and you can follow us on Facebook and Twitter as well. I'm Matthew Hayes, and I'll see you guys really soon.